Hi everyone. um, Today we are going to look at parallel vectors. What are parallel vectors? There are so many definitions of parallel vectors. All the definitions, they point to the same idea. Two vectors, for example, two non-zero vectors. There's got to be something there. Shouldn't be zero. Are parallel if one of them is a multiple of the other. So here we are talking about scalar quantity. If one is a multiple of the other, then they are parallel. There is also another definition that talks about the ratio of the components of one vector to the other vector. If that ratio is maintained, so those two vectors can also be said to be parallel. If you have a vector A, this vector is parallel to itself minus A. In other words, if this vector is going towards this direction and another vector going towards this direction, if this is A, this is minus A, you can say these two vectors are parallel. They are pointing in opposite directions, but if one is a multiple of the other, then we define them to be parallel. Sometimes definitions are confusing, but when you solve problems, you will get the concept of what they are trying to explain. We are given a problem here. The problem says the vector A is parallel to vector B. Given that B is 4j minus 4i minus 3j, and A, this is the absolute value of A, or now we are talking about magnitude here. The magnitude of A is 50. Find the vector A. We are given the magnitude of A, and we are given the vector B, but they want us to find the vector A. You see that? Magnitude of A is given, vector A is not given. Here, vector B is given, so what do we need to find? We need to find the magnitude of B. So, if that is the case, magnitude of B, that's vector B, this is equal to, you take when you're doing magnitude, you don't consider the letters, you only take the numbers. That is the square root of 4 squared plus minus 3 squared. That is the magnitude of B. So this boils down to the square root of 4 squared is 16 plus minus 3 squared, the minus will disappear there, so it's going to be 9. So that gives us the square root of 25. Square root of 25 we know is 5. So now we found the magnitude of the vector B. So is there any relationship we can make between B and A? We now see that A, magnitude of vector A, is 10 times that of magnitude of vector B. It's 10 times. The magnitude of A is 50, B is 5. So when you multiply 5 by 10, you get 50. So A, therefore, is 10 times B. I hope you can relate this. The magnitude of A is 10 times the magnitude of B, because if you see now 10 times 5, this is 50, yeah? You get 50 here. Now what has happened here is bigger. So now to find the vector B, the vector A, sorry, is going to be 10 times the vector B. Mind you, two vectors are parallel if they are scalar multiple of one another. So this is a scalar multiple, this number is a scalar quantity. So therefore these two vectors are parallel. Okay? So now to find vector A, which we are asked to find here, given that vector B is this, find A. So A is going to be now, vector A is going to be 10 times vector B, and B is 4I minus 3J. So therefore, 10 times 4, we expand the parentheses now, yeah? 10 times 4 is 40I minus 10 times 3 is 30J. So this is the answer. This is just one definition of parallel vectors. We shall bring in another definition of parallel vectors when we start to look at perpendicular vectors. And then we will talk about that when we start considering the angle between two vectors. Then we shall bring in another definition. I hope this is clear. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.